Vincent Cuizon. Um, Here to share my testimony and the story that brought me here. Not only that is what Christ did in my life. Um, I'm originally born and raised in the Bay Area, and I started my life off in Castro Valley, California. Um, as a young kid, I grew up as a Catholic, and didn't really know much about Jesus at all. It was just, it was almost like a routine, not a relationship. And when I was about 4 years old, I can remember that my father was throwing a party, and my father, he was addicted to porn. And I remember him throwing a blanket over my head, and he would be watching porn with all his friends. And I had a hole in my blanket, and I would peek, and that's the first set of evil that set into me, and that was set in place in my house. And I believe that it was spread at that point. And um, as I grew older, my parents had to work, both my mom and my dad, and they had to get a babysitter, and that babysitter ended up molesting me when I was young. And it was just another tactic that the enemy tried to use to hold me down, to shut me down. And that is a part of my story, because it could be something that is a bitter root in me now. Those are the things that I had to pick out, to fully receive, what my calling is. Um, but I do believe that, the Lord was chasing after me, because when I was young, He'd send people towards my way, like neighbors that would try to bring me to Bible study or vacation Bible school. But I didn't know nothing of it, and as I grew older, I started running around a little more. Parents were working. It's not much their fault. But um, just, I started running around and doing what we call, the bad boy thing, I guess. Um, I started stealing a lot, because I wanted what I wanted. Um, my crowd of friends started being the same type of people that I was, or I was becoming. So I didn't really have Jesus at that time. Um, there came a point where it was 2010, where my mom got cancer, and as she was dying on her deathbed, or even being in the hospital during chemo, I I wasn't around. I didn't go and visit. I was just running around, doing the most out there. And one thing I became was cold, and heartless. Um, the day that my mom died, uh, I had got into like a really big accident. It was the day of. Some Me and a lady had a altercation on the road, and she tried to smash my car, and she totaled her car trying to smash me. And same night, went to the hospital. My mom died. I was so lost. I was broken in the world. I went to the hospital with a woman that I was having an affair with, and she was married. And it just I knew that right then and there that I was broken, and I was hurt, and I didn't know where to get that from. And there was a time when a friend that came over. I had taken something from him, and he had an encounter with, I believe it was Jesus, because he came to my house, and I thought I thought he was going to kill me because of what I did to him. But instead, came to share with me what happened. And what brought him to my house was his grandma told him to pray for somebody that he knew. And he said he didn't even know why he said this name, but he said Chris. And Chris is the name that my family calls me. And it shook his world. So when he came to my house, not only was I thinking that he's going to kill me, I thought, we were going to fight in front of my house, in front of my family. But those are the things that the Lord will do. He will maneuver his way into your life. I believe he did that, and sometimes I feel jealous because, I didn't have a supernatural encounter. I didn't have like you know, a moment in my room where, he came and he just wanted my life. I believe that he came strategically in my life. He came for me specifically, through people. And, time and time went, and, I started searching. I don't want to go too deep into where I was then, but I was searching for love in all the wrong places. And I met my wife. And when I met my wife, we just met. She moved in a week later. And, we weren't doing the right things. And I didn't think nothing of it, but I didn't know. I ended up marrying somebody that was already been on mission trips. Her father poured into her life about Jesus. She found Jesus on her own. And that was the last thing that I thought was going to happen during this time. And that's when he made it real. There's times when I know that I wasn't perfect. And Holy Spirit can work through people, like I said. And there was one time where I just stopped and started reading her journal. It was her pouring out to the Lord about me and about my anger issues, and she was praying for me hard. And I got saved in 2017. Got baptized in Oakland, California, and I some really dumb things happened there. Nothing that I had control of, but it was definitely the Lord working, because he said he never loses the ones that he was given. So I believe that those things happen for a reason. Spirit offense is real, and I do believe that he started moving in my life when I let him enter in and submitted to him, gave him everything that I had. Time came to where I started falling on rough times. I ended up homeless. I had to take my family to Fresno, my wife and my oldest now, and I would live in my van. And I just remember always praying by myself in the van. And the only way that I was able to go through this was with Christ. Couldn't do it without him. And, he came through. He always comes through. That's why I'm here now. Just driving by to go pick up my family during the weekend. I would pass by Desto, Turlock, and first place we tried was Turlock, California. First place that took my credit. First place that took the money that I had. Heard my story, and the Lord gave favor on me. And now I'm proud to say what the Lord has done. He's moved me into a home in Modesto. I'm an owner now, and it's all because of the Lord, and I love Him for that.